we are at Failure, which is another interlude, and it's about Carlos essentially addressing the listeners and saying, like, I know you know what it feels like to fail, but you don't know what it feels like to fail as big as I have. I've promised myself so many things wouldn't happen, and here they are. At first, I promised I wouldn't be part of a gang. That would never happen. Look at what happened. I became part of a gang. Then I promised myself that this would never happen, that this album would never become a thing because I wouldn't ever end myself. And look where we are. The album's releasing. It's kind of this deep moment with himself where he's addressing the viewer and saying, yeah, you've failed before, but you have not failed as big as I have. Like, he's kind of saying, like, think of how good you've got it, right? He doesn't say that, but he's kind of just saying how big of a failure he is, and he's more so kind of bringing up the person listening, because they're like, yeah, I have it pretty bad, but, like, I never promised myself that I wouldn't do this thing, and then I went and did it, right? Which isn't necessarily true for everybody. I'm not going to say that nobody who ever listens to my music hasn't ever done anything within the lines of bad things, because they probably have. But, Carlos isn't addressing Carlos is addressing sort of the everyman of the viewer. It's like the person who's just kind of existing as a viewer. They don't actually live their own life. They're just a viewer. Is kind of the viewer that Carlos is addressing here, not the very intimate live of every single person on the planet viewer, which is very important to note, because that would be a very hard thing to accomplish, especially because I do know if I was making it where it is addressing the specific viewer who's listening, because I kind of hope I make it kind of clear in this one. It's like saying you don't know what it's as, like, how hard it is to fail as big as I have, but I hope it's kind of clear. I'm not talking like to that person specific. I'm saying more so like as a whole of you, as the people who listen to me don't know how, like, big I've fucked up, essentially. And yeah, failure is kind of about, like, that intimate, I hate who I've become so much to the point to where I'm willing to betray myself one last time to make sure it doesn't get any worse.